What's good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Fares Muthana. Welcome to another great episode of Good Friends, Better Rivals. This week we are talking Week 10 of the NFL season. The Dallas Cowboys played on Monday night against Arizona,
We
and
talk
then
about Week 10. I mean, I got nothing to talk about for Week 10.
it's Week 9.
No, I mean, I don't. We don't have a game.
Oh, you're on bye week?
Yes.
Oh, so I'm at Week 9. We're here to recap Week 9.
No, we're on Week 10. We just
Yeah.
don't have a game to talk
Yeah,
about. I don't have nothing to talk about for Week 10.
My bad. I mean, let's recap Week actually 8 and 9 because we didn't do a show last week. We weren't here, so we'll talk about both games in kind of in a combo if we want to touch on the big themes. But yeah, Week 10, you're on the bye. We are against Chicago. So there's that, and you know what? We'll talk about it in a bit. Well, shout out to you, Leo. How you doing? But yeah, week 9 has come and gone. Last week, 2 weeks ago, if you have been watching the show, Caleb revealed to us that there's two teams in the NFL that the Dallas Cowboys can't beat: the Denver Broncos and the Arizona Cardinals. And funny enough, they were playing them in back-to-back weeks.
That's the rough part.
Yeah. So back-to-back losses for the Dallas Cowboys against their bogey teams. The New York Giants lost to the San Francisco 49ers. I do have a story to tell about that. I was at that game live. I have a bunch of video. Oh, man, I should have uploaded all the videos.
Nobody cares.
Damn, that's hurtful, dog. I was going to tell you, hey, man, upload your videos when you go to watch them against the Raiders.
Well, I mean, we'll win. I mean, you guys lost.
Well, I don't know about that, man. That defense played pretty good last night.
You saw what happened last night.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was
We're not losing to that.
Yeah, it was god-awful. At least you can score like 21 points. Yeah. You know, but let's just say
we're not losing to that team.
Yeah,
no way. We're not. I'm not saying we're good, but we're not as bad as that.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, you gave up 37 points to the Giants.
I didn't say we were gonna not give up points. I just said we're not losing to that team.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The Raiders did have someone you wanted to trade for, but unfortunately, you didn't get. But we'll talk about a bunch of trades happened. 2 of them involving your team. It's a big ones. Unfortunately, we also have some unfortunate news. So let's get the unfortunate news out of the way first. Is yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yesterday morning.
It was yesterday morning. Unfortunately, outside linebacker, defensive end, Marshawn Kneeland of the Dallas Cowboys passed away. It was due to a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Horrible news to see because he literally was playing on Monday night. He had a punt block for a touchdown, I believe.
Yeah.
And then, you know, getting that news of him passing away, it's a god awful tragedy. Unfortunately, something not new for the Dallas Cowboys. If you've known their history, everyone remembers the unfortunate incident with I believe was Jerry Brown. Was it Jerry Brown? I think it was Jerry Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there was a car accident that killed one of the Cowboys. He was like, I think was he on? I think he was on the coaching staff, not on the coaching staff, but like
on the practice squad.
He was on the practice squad. So this isn't new, unfortunately, for the Dallas Cowboys. And honestly, you know, just sending love and prayers to Marshawn's family.
It's not even to the, you know, so different from what happened with Dak Prescott's brother.
Yeah.
He also died from suicide.
Yes.
And that's why Dak has his foundation. That's why Dak has been talking about that for since that happened, and that's why Dak won Man of the Year for his work that he's done with that, talking about those type of things and mental health and suicide and all of that. Like he's been a big proponent of that. You know, he has the foundation for it, and just to have as one of his teammates. And that type of situation is, you know, that's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, they were sent on it was a welfare check, and then I believe car chase ensued, and then he fortunately committed suicide. It's pretty much You got to talk to people. Like I think men's mental health, right? We talk about it all the time. How no one really cares. No one really wants to hear that, and it's true. They don't. But you got to fight through that, and you gotta talk to somebody. And I'm not just talking about like, oh, I talk to my friends, I talk to my family. Like, no, you need to talk to a professional whose job is to help you. You know, um, does it work all the time? Unfortunately, no, but it can help you. It can help you if you are in a state, um, because it's a battle. It's every day. You got to take it day by day. And at one point, I dealt with this. I'm not gonna lie, I did, and I talked to a professional, and it helped. Um, my program helped me get somebody. It was free. It did me good. Like don't fall into the trap of like, oh, men don't talk about their problems. Why are you talking about just get up by your bootstraps and keep it moving. Like, nah, that's BS. That's never been, you know what I mean. People talk about like, oh, men back in the day, we never did that. Exactly. Men back in the day committed a higher rate of suicide as well. This isn't new, you know. So talk to someone. Don't let anybody tell you talking to people don't work. Do activities that increase dopamine because you want to be in a state of not like be overly happy, but a state of contentness towards happiness. Don't talk to people. Some days you do want to take a break from people and just relax and just chill out. But you gotta be ingrained. Gotta talk to people. Plan some activities with your friends, people that always have your good place in your heart. But yeah, man, they don't take us seriously. No one does. But we got to fight that. You got to go out there and you got to get help. Got to go out there and get help. And you know what, man? I'll talk smack about Dak Prescott, the football player, every day, twice on Sundays. Dak Prescott, the human being, that ain't. I ain't never slandering him, man, because the pain that family must have suffered after what happened to his brother, and then seeing the kneeling siblings knowing the same thing happened to their brother is a damn shame, man. Waking up, that's probably the worst news ever, man. Waking up and like your brother's gone. I mean, that's horrible. It's horrible. Any other thoughts, Caleb?
Yeah, I mean, his guy was, I mean, he's young, he's 24, second round pick in the NFL. Like you said, he just scored a touchdown. Um, and that was one of the bright spots of his of his season so far. And you think he'd be on a high from that, and
Mm-hmm.
he just I don't know whether it was something going on in his professional life or his personal life that you know he had issues with. I don't know, but it's just crazy to think like that guy with so much promise in his career, because it's only his second year in the NFL
Mm-hmm.
as a second round pick. Um, what else what he was battling off the field. It's crazy to think that this where it ended up. Yeah, I mean, it's your heart goes out to his family and girlfriend, everybody, and all Cowboys Nation. That was pretty devastating to see waking up on that Thursday morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that sums it up. Shout out to them. Hope they're getting the necessary help they need because it's devastating for a family. Some families don't recover, but some families do. It's all about being together and and fighting together. So I hope nothing but love and support for the Nealon family and the Dallas Cowboy extended family as well. So let's transition to the Cowboys on that Monday night. Unfortunately, they lost to the Arizona Cardinals. The defense again reared its ugly head. Marvin Harrison Jr. had his best day of the season, I think, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened to Duran. I think the injuries have caught up to Duran Bland. And the one play that I think sums up, Caleb, I think you probably was the slant touchdown from Marvin Harrison where Duran just like falls on his backside. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not a player that's good anymore. I don't know what happened to this guy. Break it down for me, Caleb. What were you watching? And and if you want to touch on, week 8 a little bit as well,
Well, I
do it.
mean, week 8, it's just we didn't show. I mean, even the offense was bad. The
Okay.
defense was bad as always. Offense was bad.
Nobody showed up.
Well, the offense was bad because Denver has a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
We just saw that last night. Even though the Raiders aren't great, but still,
Mm-hmm.
you could see how great that defensive line, those linebackers, get pressure. I mean, they're on pace for like the most sacks ever in a season.
I remember one week that defense didn't play good.
Against the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did when in the second half when you guys didn't score anything.
All right, let's continue.
But yeah, so yeah, it was just going up against that good of a defense and the defense being as bad as it is. I mean, we saw how bad Bo Nix was yesterday, and we still gave up a ton of points against them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's
Russell
just
Wilson dropped 37 on y'all, so
yeah,
the
that
defense
just
is,
goes
is just awful.
yeah, and going to the Cardinals game, obviously defense still bad. Duran
Mm-hmm.
Bland. I don't think Duran Bland's just bad right now. It's just bad scheme fits. Probably he's not playing with a ton of confidence right now, and because of that, so he just looks out of sorts right now. Doesn't mean I don't believe that he can't get back to what he was. Because I've seen it just this season that he's played had some good games this season.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's a man-to-man corner, and y'all playing zone.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that's
I think that's also the problem with the New York Giants defensive scheme. The Shane Bone is not putting them in good places to play. I've started to realize that.
yeah. So that's he had a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
But defense has been playing bad all season, and then we just the thing I've been giving Schottenheimer credit for the success that we've had, but in the last 2 weeks he's been making not good decisions. I don't think he's had the best game plans, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he's called the best had the best decision making during the games. We should never have gone for a fourth down on our first drive. Um, I don't care if he thought like, oh, we did that in the Broncos game, and that's what led them to win that game. No, I mean we do not have the defense to give up any type of points. If we have the opportunity to score, we need to score. I don't care if it's 3 points or 6 points. We need to score. We cannot give up any points because we do not have a defense that can hold the team. Every point is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
To go for a fourth down on the first drive was stupid. And it's little cracks like that that's been happening in the last couple of weeks on the offense. That's why we haven't looked so sharp on offense. Um, he's going. He had a lot of success, but maybe because they've gotten a lot more tape on us on the offense and finding out what different ways to stop us and doing different things, maybe to counter what Schottenheimer has been doing early in their season of why they got so much success. And maybe not now he's going through a little rough spot and he needs to
They have
try different
tape.
things.
They
Yeah.
have tape on Brian Schottenheimer, and they've gotten you because which is kind of horrible to see because if they've got enough tape in season next year, you're screwed because
That's
it
why I
takes
mean, but
you know.
that's the thing about good coaches. I mean, they're
Mm-hmm.
good coaches. Obviously run into the same thing, but
Mm-hmm.
they overcome it by just adjusting, making new plays, having different ways of calling plays, and
Mm-hmm.
they adjust. So we'll see if he's that good of a coach or if he's going to be a bad coach and not be able to do
Let's
that.
see. Let's see if he's better than his father.
Well, his
I don't.
father's
I
pretty
don't.
good. I mean, a lot
Yeah,
of
his
people
father was
not his
pretty
father.
good, man. I love his father, man.
It's not like his father was a bad coach. Like he was a good coach. Just
His
didn't win a lot
father
in the playoffs.
was probably one of the most underrated coaches in NFL history because man, he makes a brother want to get the gleam. You ever wanted to get the gleam, Caleb? Get the gleam, men. Let's go get that gleam. Are you guys getting the gleam? I don't see no gleam getting. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta
Yeah, it's
say.
the same thing as glory hole.
No, but no, a gleam is better.
But it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, so that worries me a little bit if he can't get it together on offense. But yeah, that's just what happened in the game. But going into the trades, if you want to talk about that now.
Let's talk about the trades. Two big trades. Well, one big trade and the other one a trade because you needed them. The big
I
trade,
mean, it's a big trade for us compared to
yeah, well, two big trades for the Cowboys. Two big trades of the day happened from the same team. The New York Jets basically have gutted their defense in a sense. They got rid of all-pro defensive tackle Quentin Williams. That's the player going to you. You guys got Quentin Williams. You guys sent a second-round pick this year and a first-round pick next year, and Mozzie Smith to New York. 2027 first-round pick and the 2026 second-round pick. And then, let's do the counterpart. They also sent Sauce Gardner to Indianapolis. He went for 2 first-round picks this year and next year, plus Adonai Mitchell, who you know, former Texas Longhorn, also former Georgia Bulldog, for Sauce Gardner. He's going to Indianapolis. But let's stick to the Quentin Williams trade because that's what we really care about. Funny enough, Caleb, if you were watching Monday Night Football, they interview Jerry Jones, or someone talked to Jerry Jones. Someone's always talking to Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is always talking to somebody. And he says, we have a trade in place. And funny enough, if you were watching the Monday night stream, Troy Aikman laughs in his face and said, how about you cancel that trade? Because for what I'm seeing, you need more than a trade to fix this team.
We got 2 trades.
We got 2 trades. See, so in your face, Troy Aikman, it was 2 of them. The trade probably Jerry was talking about was Quentin Williams. Your new defensive tackle. I talked to you, I think, a couple days ago, Caleb, and you weren't. I know when you're really happy, like when you something great happens to you, you just don't stop smiling. You didn't smile. You're like, yeah, it was cool, but you're not like, oh my God, Quentin Williams. Why?
Because it should have happened like 3 goddamn weeks ago.
Okay.
That's why. I would have been like, yeah, when we didn't have 5 losses on the goddamn record.
Uh-huh.
It's too late. It's too late. We lost too many games. We lost too many games specifically in the NFC. It doesn't help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we literally have to win every single game. In the NFC, looking at all the other teams who have winning records, there's a lot of them. What do you think we're going to do this season? It's too late. You should have done this way before. You should have done this before the Denver game. Yeah, you should have done this before we got two losses in a row. It's too late. I mean, you waited too long, just like Jerry Jones always waits too long to make anything happen. That's what he does with deals and dumb things like that. It's just too damn late. And it's also just, it's the same problem that's always happened. You sign a good player and give him a ton of money. And that's how the problems we've been having throughout. And that's it. We just signed Odigizua to a big contract. So why do we need it? We did not only trade it for Quentin Williams, we traded for Kenny Clark too. So what the hell does that say about Odigizua that we just paid a bunch of money to? And I'm not saying Odigizua is not a fine player. He's just not a great player that deserves all that money. If we were just going to trade for two defensive tackles anyways.
That are actually, it's your run defense has kind of gone back, right? It's not
that's why we made the trade, because our run defense is really bad.
Mm-hmm. And Kenny Clark should have helped.
Well, he has helped. He initially did help, but
you went from awful to bad. Now you could be fine.
Yeah, now we can be fine. But that's the point. Like, and it's not like Odigizua is doing what he even did last year, which was get a lot of pressures. Because we haven't got a lot of pressure. It's still less.
What is Osa? Is he a?
He's a 3 He's a 3 technique defensive tackle.
He's a 3 tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out in the 4-3.
Again, a 4-3, 3 tech.
So he would be like the
more
more 3-4.
No, he's 4-3. He's 4.
Mm,
I mean, at 3-4, he'd be like a defensive end.
yeah. Also, he would be the edge on the 3-4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got you. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So that's some
So he's a
position
more quicker defensive tackle rather than a big, run stopper.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
But we paid him because he got pressure. At least he did last year. And I don't think he's really done that this year. And lived up to that money. That's the problem we always have. We always pay good. Like I said, Deron Bland hasn't been playing great. We paid a bunch of money to him, and say we keep doing the same thing over and over. Keep paying these guys a bunch of money that are good players, but
either they get hurt or they good players regress. It happens, right?
Yeah, shit ton of money to Trayvon Diggs, who hasn't done crap all year. Who's looked bad and been injured.
Yes.
I mean, it's just the same thing. It's the reason why we're such talentless on defense right now. Is not only because of those bad contracts, it's because of the bad drafting. The bad drafting in the last 2 years. I would say the 2022 and the 2023. Yeah, I think this is the 2022 and 2023 and 2024 drafts. Were really bad. We had not much in them. The Mosley Smith draft, we just traded him away. That was one of the worst drafts ever. I wouldn't say the worst.
Could this be, Caleb, where...
But those two draft classes are really what set us back, and that's why we look so bad right now.
2022 and 2023?
Yeah, or 2024. I can't remember which one it was. I know 2023 was bad, but...
yeah, well, we can look at Cowboys draft history. No, so, Caleb, I think we talked about this a couple days ago where I said Will McClay can draft a certain position.
He was on a streak from 2018 to about 2021.
So, 2018, he drafts Leighton Vander Esch, Connor Williams, Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz and Dorrance Armstrong Jr.
Yeah.
And then Cedric Wilson Jr. And then Mike White. He's no longer on he's no longer in the NFL. Bo Scarborough, miss. Chris Covington, that's a miss. And then, we keep going. 2019.
He traded the first round pick for Amari Cooper, which is a smart move because we need him.
So you drafted Tristan Hill.
That was bad.
Yeah. Okay. Then you drafted Connor McGovern.
That was
Tony Pollard.
That was good.
Michael Jackson, who's now a corner.
He's actually a good player. We just
in Seattle. He just wasn't good for you. So technically, Michael Jackson didn't pan out for you. So he's kind of a bust for you. Joe Jackson, no. Donovan Wilson, who's still on your team.
Good.
So right now we have...
That was a good draft. I mean...
Yeah. So from 2018, Leighton Vander Esch was a hit. Connor Williams is a hit.
He was a hit.
Yeah, he was a hit.
He just didn't pay.
Yeah, exactly. So 1, 2, Michael Gallup was a hit, but then he destroyed his knee.
Yeah,
I think he was a hit, but then he his knee just completely fell apart.
Yeah, I think you're a hit just because despite.
You're also a third round pick. He was also a third round pick, and due to draft position, how much do you expect from a third round pick? That's why I think Micah McFadden for us is a hit because they drafted him in the 5th round, and he's our starting linebacker, and he's pretty good. Not great, but good. He's good. Dorrance Armstrong, Dalton Schultz are definite hits, I believe. Very good 4th round picks. They're still in the league. That's a great hit. And then in 2019, McGovern hit, Pollard hit, Jackson, not a hit for you, but he's a hit, is a hit. Donovan Wilson is definitely a hit, 6th round pick. What do you expect from a 6th round pick? And he's still on your team. And then 2020, you had Lamb, Diggs, hit, Neville Gallimore, hit, not a hit. Okay. Reggie Robinson II.
That was bad.
Yeah, Tyler Biotish.
That was good.
Bradley Anai. I remember Bradley Anai.
He's okay. He's okay. Not for us, but he's an okay player in the league.
Yeah. Ben DiNucci. The Nooch.
I mean, UFL, he was a hit.
Yeah, he's definitely a hit. And then 2021, Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Hit. Yeah. Kelvin Joseph is not a hit.
No.
He's not a hit. No. Osei Digizua, Chauncey Golston. I think those were hits.
Yeah.
Third round picks, defensive lineman, very good. Chauncey Golden's been injured all year for the Giants. Nashawn Wright,
He's been playing good for the Bears.
yeah, I guess. Jabril Cox, nope. Josh Bell, nope. Simi Fehoko, nope. Quentin Bonahana, nope. Israel Mukamu, is he still with you? No, he's not with you.
No, not with us.
He was a
started
hit.
a couple games.
Yeah, he's a hit. 6th-round pick. What do you expect? And then right here, 2022, Smith, Sam Williams, Tyler Smith, Sam Williams, Jalen Tolbert, your favorite player on planet Earth.
Terrible.
Not a hit, I guess, for Caleb.
Terrible draft.
Yeah, so Tyler Smith, Sam Williams, Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson, hit.
Yeah.
Matt Waltko? Matt Waltko? Okay, then Deron Bland, hit.
Yeah.
Damone Clark, no, yay, no.
I mean, he's still on the team.
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't play good. Your linebackers suck. So not a hit. John Ridgway, nope. And Devin Harper, who I don't know who that is. And then 2023. This is when it all fell apart. Mozzie Smith, Luke Schoonmaker, back-to-back Michigan players, by the way. DeMarvin Overshown hit, but injured a lot. So
yeah, it was 2023, then 2024. That was the bad draft.
Yeah. So, and then you have Villamami Fehoko, Asim Richards. He's no longer on your team. You traded him to, I think he's in New Orleans. Eric Scott, nope. Deuce Vaughn, I don't know why that was kind of just like a favor to your scout. Sorry to Deuce. I like Deuce at Kansas State, but yeah, he had no, it is. Jalen Brooks, nope. And then 2024, you have Tyler Guyton, Marshawn Kneeland, God rest his soul. Cooper Beebe, Maurice Leofau, Kalen Carson, Ryan Flournoy, Nathan Thomas, and Justin Rogers. And then this year, you have Donovan Ezeraku, Tyler Booker, Siobhan Revell, Jadon Blue, Shamar James, Johnny Cornelius, Jay Toa, Phil Maffa, and Tommy King Besotu. Yeah, so the hits here are all linemen. Offensive linemen. Cooper Beebe.
Yeah, that's why I said from 2018 to 2023. Those were really good drafts. And then, 2023, 2024.
Well, no, 2023 was not a good draft.
No, 2022. I mean, 2023.
Stop that 2022.
2023, 2024, bad drafts, and that's why we are where we are in the record.
Yeah. And the only hits in those drafts is Cooper Beebe and DeMarvin Overshown. Really. Yeah,
that's why going back to the point, trading, a first round pick doesn't bother me because we haven't done anything at that position. We haven't done so well in the drafts overall. So trading a first round pick doesn't really bother me because at least we know we're getting a really good player. And we're not going to draft. And we're not going to draft another Mozzie Smith.
No, exactly right there, Caleb. Trade for the position you can't draft. I think Will McClay is like, I don't know what the hell a good defensive lineman is. I don't know. Why not trade for a defensive lineman that you know is good? Everyone knows is good. Then you don't draft a defensive lineman in the first round because you're probably going to draft defensive lineman this upcoming year, right? Because you probably need
an edge rusher.
Yeah, an edge rusher, right? So now you don't need to draft one. You got Quinn Williams. He's a defensive tackle, but he's going to create more chaos for your edge rusher. He's going to elevate, I remember when the Rams, when they were good, Leonard Floyd had a great year. Not because Leonard Floyd is great. No offense to Leonard Floyd. He was good. I like Leonard Floyd. But everyone was focused on Aaron Donald. So Von Miller and Leonard Floyd had one-on-one opportunities. And, the mark of a good to great defensive end is winning one-on-ones more often than losing. Because Aaron Donald was there was a lot of one-on-one opportunities. So Quentin Williams is going to offer you one-on-one opportunities for Sam Williams, Donovan Ezeraku, who led the nation in sacks last year. Ezeraku, he's more of a speed rusher. He doesn't really look that big, but he looks like a speed rusher. But yeah, Quentin Williams is going to create chaos in the middle. They're going to collapse on him, free up Williams, free up Osa, free up Donovan, possibly one-on-one opportunities, and you want them to win those one-on-one opportunities. And Will McClay, like good GMs, is I don't know what a good he drafts what he knows. Offensive lineman, he knows. Tyler Guyton, maybe his only miss, but
he's not bad.
but he's not bad. He was very raw and athletic, and you know what? They were like, we're gonna mold him. Tyler Smith was definitely a hit. Cooper Beebe was a hit. Didn't he draft Tyron Smith back in the day?
Booker's good.
But Booker looks good. Everyone laughed at him for Travis Frederick. Literally, everyone was like, "What the hell are you doing? What the hell is a Travis Frederick?" Travis Frederick, if he didn't medically retire, was probably gonna go down as the greatest center of all time. Zach Martin was a hit, so he knows offensive linemen. He doesn't know defensive linemen, so he trades for a great defensive lineman with a first-round pick that, you know what? You didn't trade your first-round pick. That's the key.
Yeah.
You traded the Packers' first-round pick, which is going to be in the late teens. They have a better record than you. They're probably going to be they're going to be a good team next year. So their pick's going to be in the 20s. They're going to probably make the playoffs. You're 3-5 right now. You know what I mean? So that was a good, good business. I don't know who made the deal. Either was it Will, was it Jerry, was it Steven? I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I would agree with some people who say, it was too much. The second round pick, that one kind of hurts because that is this year.
That's this year's, yes.
Second round pick. Maybe that's probably too much to give up. The first round pick doesn't bother me. Adding that other pick when we need so much on defense, that one kind of hurts. That's where I would say, it's a little too much for that one. But we got a really good player. We got a really good defensive tackle. We should be able to stop the run somewhat with both Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams and Osa Odighizuwa. We should have it at least better than it was. And it should be better with our next trade, which was Logan Wilson for a 7th-round pick. That may not seem like a big trade, but it's big for us because the linebacking has been so horrendously bad that even a guy that obviously he wasn't going to
also stinks
with the Bengals. He looks like he throughout his career he's been pretty good, a pretty good linebacker. But it looks he looked great compared to what we have.
Yeah, I think the only reason that they chose to start Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight Jr. over him,
they're younger.
Yeah, they're younger, and the way Cincinnati operates is when you're up for like a contract or you're up for like some money, they don't really play you. They don't really care about you. Chad Ochocinco famously said, I was in a contract dispute with Cincinnati, and I had certain stats to hit for incentives. And Cincinnati made sure I didn't hit those incentives. They made sure of it. That was the year they had Ocho. You remember the year they had him and T.O. that year? Ocho had a horrible year that year. People are like, why? Is that he wanted a new contract and he wanted to hit his incentives, and they didn't let him. They didn't let him. That's the way Cincinnati does business. They're shady. They're shady. The only reason those two wide receivers got their money, Caleb, is that Joe Burrow said, you better pay my guys. If Joe Burrow never said that, one of them is not a Cincinnati Bengal. I think T. Higgins is probably not a Cincinnati Bengal. But Joe Burrow said, I want both of my guys. You pay them the goddamn money. And, Mike Brown said, fine, I'll pay them money. But I'm not paying anybody else. That's why Trey Hendrickson is like, where my money at? And they're like, your money doesn't exist, so stop talking. Funny enough, I don't know why they didn't trade him. I don't know what but they were asking for a first-round pick, and for a 31-year-old defensive end, that's a little high.
Yeah,
that's a little high. That's a little high. It's a little high. But yeah, let's see if he's enough. You know what? You can only go up, right, Caleb? You had Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray, Damone Clark, Shamar James. DeMarvin was injured, so he really didn't count. So
we're gonna get him back. We should be back. Exactly. We should get him back on Monday night when we play the Raiders.
So
yeah, we should definitely look, especially with that defensive line holding up the guys in the front. They should be free to fill those gaps and stop the run.
And you know what? Good for you because the trade deadline was before your bye week. So Logan Wilson and Quentin Williams have 2 weeks to get prepared.
Yeah.
They have the bye week. Well, sometimes, depending on how much they're allowed to do football during their bye week. I think some people are allowed. Some people are, they do some other stuff. But probably they'll be more integrated. Then they also have game week as well for the Raiders. Plus, you also play on Monday night, so it's a longer game week. So they may be on you may be better than normal. So we'll see.
What would be better if we did it 3 goddamn weeks ago.
All right, that's a good point too. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like come on.
Yeah.
We could have done this. It's not like the Jets were winning back then either. They would have given how would the price have changed if it was a month ago?
I don't know.
Wouldn't have been the same price.
We don't know. I
doubt the price changed.
I doubt it.
I'm pretty sure it was pretty going to get. They were saying the same trade way back then. So why wait?
Yeah. So the new man Quentin Williams has beaten 57 double teams to generate pressure since 2022, the most of any player in that span. So that's a bonus for you. Trying to see some, your defense, had 5 different defenders, Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, Dominic Raku, as well as defense tackles Kenny Clark and Osa Digizua, generated at least 14 pressures each.
As Raku's been getting better.
Yeah, as Raku's getting better. He's defensive lineman, man. Defensive lineman, it takes a minute. Not everyone is Javon Curse. You know what I mean? Right out the gate, Mr. Freak, 17 and a half sacks. You know what I mean? It takes people a minute because you need to adjust to the size and speed of the tackles.
Clowney's been looking good. He's been adjusted.
Oh, yeah, Clowney. Yeah, I forgot Clowney's a Cowboy. That's true. Yeah, but then, the back end is just still bad.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Deron Bland has allowed.
They're still going to be bad.
Yeah, Deron Bland, 7.7 yards per target, 68.6 completion percentage in coverage this year, which is the high marks. But here's the thing, too, about that, right, Caleb, is the great friend of a bad back end is a great defensive line that rushes, that hurries up the passer, right? So the DBs don't have to cover for that long. You know what I mean? So could, this help? Again, he's
it'll
a defensive.
Help. I don't know how much, but definitely it'll help.
Yeah. Micah Parsons, man, people say, there's a lot of Deron Bland's interceptions were due to Parsons' pressures and hurrying up the quarterback. That could be a thing. Now the pressure isn't getting there, so Deron Bland isn't getting a lot of interceptions. So you could see that as well. I haven't fully investigated that, but I don't know. But, any other thoughts, Caleb?
No. You want me to be excited and all that. I am for a
because I think you see the name, you see it's Quentin Williams, and you see the name, you're like, oh my God, we got Quentin Williams. But
I will be for this upcoming game. I'm glad that I'll be able to watch a win.
Yeah. Monday night against the Raiders in 2 weeks. You'll be there live. Speaking of watching our teams live, let's transition to the New York Giants. Last week, for the first time ever, I went to MetLife Stadium and I watched my team play football. Team's not that bad. It's not that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. It's very bland. It's very gray.
The stadium is awful.
The stadium, no. But I understand where the traffic you probably would be mad at. The parking lot, yeah. But the actual stadium wasn't that bad. It's just very boring. The stadium, not the turf. The turf is awful. The turf is horrible. But the stadium itself is just very bland because you have two rich people build the stadium together. Woody Johnson wants one thing. John Morrow wants another thing. And they don't agree. John's like, we're the Giants. And Woody's like, I'm richer than you. And he's like, you're the Jets. So who gives a shit? And they don't agree on anything. So they just pick the blandest thing there is. It's a bland stadium. There's, it's not, it's the biggest stadium in the NFL seats wise, 82,000 seats. But yeah, it's just very, it's just a very run of the mill stadium. It's just, it's not like SoFi. I've been to SoFi. SoFi is pretty cool. The Giants stadium, it's just your own proper meat and potatoes football stadium. You're there to play football. They need to get better turf, but the stadium itself, it was pretty good. Back-to-back weeks, the Giants lose.
I've never been to a stadium that was outside.
What do you mean outside?
An open stadium. I've been.
You've only been to dome stadiums?
Cowboy Stadium, Cardinal Stadium, Raider Stadium.
Yeah, they're all. Oh, you went. Oh, okay. The Allegiant.
Yeah, they're all domes I've been to.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was a nice day out. In East Rutherford, it was very nice. It was a beautiful day. Horrible day for me. I went with my friend who's a Niners fan. He was very happy. He wasn't happy after the first drive, though. First drive, the Giants looked like they had something going. You know what I mean? They scored on their first opening drive. And then, it was just, they just shot themselves in the foot. They were a loser. They were a losing team. And loser teams find ways to lose. Right before the half, they're down 20-7. Right? Niners get the ball back, and you're like, "Oh my God, the Niners! They're gonna run out the clock, and then they're gonna go in 27." Giants get an interception. Giants get a pick. Brian Burns gets a sack, and then Abdul Carter gets an interception, and the Giants are in the red zone, and the Giants get 0 yards after that. Caleb. They got 0 yards after that. Then instead of going for it on fourth down, it's 27. You're already 2-6. Who gives a damn? Instead of going for it, they kick a field goal. And Graham Gano misses it. And that's when the game was over. That's when the game was over. Because it showed the coaching staff, coaching scared. Everyone is scared. That can be interpreted to two things, Caleb. A coach who knows he's gone and doesn't care. I don't care. I'm fired anyway. I don't care. I'm fired anyway. Or it's someone who says, I know I'm keeping my job, but I am certain it's a man who says, I don't care no more. I'm getting fired anyway, so I don't give a shit. I'm not even going to try to win because I don't care. Because I've given up on Brian Daboll because you clearly see that your defensive coordinator is not good. And he's wasting 3 good pass rushers plus one of the best nose tackles in the league. He's making your best nose tackle play 3-tech. What? You see this. And you kept him. You saw him basically cost you the game in Dallas and Denver. And you kept him because you needed a shield. People are too busy talking about Shane Bowen, not enough talking about Brian Daboll's leadership. Offense is done pretty good with the weapons they have. I was watching this game. I told my friend, the Niners fan, shout out to the homie Larry, you guys have no pass rush. Jackson Dart, Caleb had all day to throw. He had all day to throw. Unfortunately, tight end can't catch. Wide receivers can't catch. Other wide receiver can't get open. Other wide receivers 5'8". He's more of more of a yak receiver where catches short, get you 5-10 yards, or trying to find a sliver in the zone. But he had all day to throw. Stat of the day, Caleb. How many sacks do you think the 49ers have prior to that Sunday game?
I have no idea.
They had 9 sacks.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably because of the injuries.
Brian Burns had 10 by himself. Brian Burns had more sacks than an entire defensive line. Now they have 10 because they got a sack that was pretty crazy. And then he got 11. He still has more than them. He got 11. He still has more than them. Shane Bowen is only there to be a shield for Brian Daboll. Because every week is, oh my God, Shane Bowen. Shane Bowen is ruining Brian Burns' defensive player of the year campaign. What is he doing with Abdul Carter? Why is he guarding a slot receiver, Abdul Carter? You know what I mean? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Oh, Dexter Lawrence, he's being misused. Someone pointed out to me that Tyler Nubin is also being misused. So I'm saying Tyler Nubin stinks, but Tyler Nubin should have been playing free safety, like a roamer, using his instincts. But no, they're making him play a different position. I think probably like more of a split safety role where he has to come down. So it's like, he had the most interceptions in Division I his year he left Minnesota. So it's like, is he being misused or does he suck? He was good last year with Wink Martindale. Not Wink Martindale. Yeah, was it Wink Martindale?
No, you didn't. You've had that for a long time.
No, we had him on for 2 years. How long has he been with us, Tyler Nubin? Let me double check.
Too long.
Been 3? Too long.
It's too long. He's not good. And keep telling you he's not good.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, so he had some good moments last year, but not great moments. He got hurt. He hurt his ankle last year too, so that didn't help him. So yeah, the team gave up. San Francisco's backup center, Caleb, was hemming up Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence did nothing. The backup center was hemming him up. And don't even get me started on the linebackers, Caleb. You wanna see a linebacker group that's probably worse than yours? Ours.
I don't know about that.
Well, okay, if they're not worse, they're probably just as bad. Bobby Okerike's lost a step. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. They were playing Darius Maasua. He got hurt. So they were playing Demetrius Flanagan Fowles at line. Exactly, Caleb. He was wearing 33, Caleb. He's a special teamer. You know what I mean? And this is my problem with Carl Banks, right? Carl Banks can come out and talk about Dexter Lawrence, how nobody respects him. You're not playing as good as which is good. Okay, fine, call him out. But Bobby Okereke seems to have just evaded criticism. He's not good. You signed him to work under Wink Martindale's scheme. You drafted a corner in Tay Banks for Wink Martindale's scheme. And they're not playing any good because they don't know what the hell's going on. One, they've regressed, and then two, you've seen them that they're not players, that are good. They're scheme players. They need to be within a scheme, which, sometimes, you roll the dice and you mess up. But yeah, man, it was disappointing all around. Darius Slayton dropping perfect ball, Caleb. Slayton is wide open. Perfect ball in his hands. He gets hit as he's going down, but then he just lets the ball fall out of his hands. Drops another ball. You know what I mean? So it's just disappointing, man. It was just disappointing all around. Jackson Dart literally had time, Caleb. Had just so much time in the back. It was disappointing. They lost to the... I want to know who we lost. Was it the Eagles? Was it the Eagles?
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, you lost the Eagles 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but the Eagles, we lost. There's a couple of, bad calls in that game, here and there. But overall, yeah, man, it was just disappointing all around. Yeah. Did you watch the game?
Scatterboo got hurt?
That's the game Scatterboo got hurt, yeah. All right. Any thoughts? Because give me a minute. I have to take this call real quick.
Okay. Not much thoughts. I mean, I was watching, as far as going through the red zone, watching all the games, but Not too surprising of how bad the Giants have looked in the past two games against the Eagles. With Scabu going down, that basically throws out the run game. Um, like I said, like Ferris talked about, their offensive line has been holding up way better than it usually does. Um, and Dart has had time, but it doesn't really matter because they had no receivers, he has nothing to throw to. And on top of that, now they have no run game. So it's been piles of crap on top of piles of crap, and their defense can't hold nobody. So I don't really know what to say about the Giants. I mean, they're a bad team. The coaching staff is bad. The offense is bad. Defense is bad. I mean, it's just all a bunch of bad, and it's been bad for so many years that we've talked about over and over on this show. And um, really, the only thing to do is keep retrying and keep trying to rebuild, keep wiping the slate clean, getting rid of everybody, but it's all the way from the top to the bottom. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. And even just to by getting rid of all the people, just to give the Giants fans some hope. At least if you do that, at least you hope for something, that something's going to change, and you hope for that something's going to get better, even though it probably is not, because it hasn't for the past, I don't know, 15, 14 years since they won the last Super Bowl, which makes me happy. I keep wanting the Giants to do bad, so I'm happy for that. That makes me excited. But yeah, they're just really crappy franchise, and I hope they keep doing bad. But as far as the 49ers Giants game, I don't really got no thoughts. But I'll take this time to take you down to painful memory lane, and I'll go back to, well, since we weren't here last week, I'll go back to when we were talking about games we've been to. I guess I've been to two Cowboys Cardinals games. Both games that we lost. First one was in 2010. Both Cowboys. This is what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter if the Cowboys are good, the Cardinals look good, or if we're bad and they're bad. It doesn't matter because we were both bad that year, and somehow we still lose the game to the Cardinals. And I was on Christmas Day too, which made it even worse. That was the first game I ever saw. Um, that was a painful memory. And then the next game, no, maybe that was the second game. The first game, yeah, that was the second game I saw. The first game was in 2008, I think. That's when Romo hit his pinky. He went out of the game. We went into overtime. Um, and then we get the pump blocked for the touchdown to lose the game in overtime. That was a painful memory as well. So those two games, Cardinals both haven't seen the Cowboys win a regular season game in person because of the two Cowboys Cardinals games, and that's what I'm talking about. We just can't beat that team for some reason. I don't understand why. Just like on the previous show, I talked about the Broncos and how we lost. You know, that painful memory lane of losing the Broncos the two times, and then here we lose to the Cardinals. We just can't beat them. Those are two teams, Broncos, Cardinals, cannot beat. I don't understand why. It doesn't really matter if those teams are good or we're good or who's on the team. It's been many years, different teams, different players, and for some reason we can't beat those teams. I don't know why. It sickens me. But yeah, it's been pretty tragic, painful memory lane. Hopefully Ferris gets off this call because uh, that's kind of the show because I got nothing left for y'all. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting on Ferris right now because I got nothing. Yo, Ferris. And we don't even have any comments. So if anybody wants to put out some comments, we can go over that. If you want to go ahead and support us, you can go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you really want to help us out, you can join our Patreon. The link in the description is down below. So do all that. We very much appreciate it, and we appreciate you for watching.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. I have no other to say about the New York Giants, but
they're an utter painful memory lane. If you have one.
So it was MetLife Stadium. I believe it was 2010. It was probably the worst game I ever watched in my entire life, outside of that Denver Broncos game this year, where the Giants had the win. And their punter, his name was Matt Dodge. This was the last time he ever showed up in an NFL game, I believe. Tom Coughlin told him, "Don't punt to Deshaun Jackson. Don't do it. Don't do it." And Matt Dodge said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to punt to Deshaun Jackson." I probably have told the story already, but...
Yeah, you literally used that one for your painful memory lane already.
Okay. All right. It's 2016. It was the playoffs.
I think you used that one too.
Really? Oh, wow.
That was the vote game.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, you used that. That was the first one.
Damn, okay.
I mean, there's a ton of Cowboys where we kicked your ass. You can use one of those.
The year was 2022. Sunday Night Football. The Giants just made the playoffs the year before. Wait, no. It's 2023. The Giants just made the playoffs. We're all filled with piss and vinegar. We're like, hey, man, we just made the playoffs. We beat Minnesota. The team has gotten a little bit better. I think we can beat the Cowboys. Giants, have a good first drive, but it stalls out. They're there for a kick. Field goal. Graham Gano's a very good kicker before his body started destroying itself. I think it was about 42 yards. So it wasn't a long kick, but it wasn't a short kick either. Lines up. Everything looks perfect. And out of nowhere, block. Dallas Cowboys block it. And you're like, oh, they block it. Okay. But they don't just block it. They scoop and score. And then what proceeds to happen at MetLife Stadium was one of the worst ass whoopings I've ever seen on Sunday Night Football. Evan Neal, that was the day Evan Neal's career ended. Couldn't block anything. Dallas Cowboys had 10 sacks that day. 10 or 11. 9 of them were all because of Evan Neal. The rest were because the guards couldn't guard anything. And I think one of them was probably Andrew Thomas's fault. 40-0.
Yeah.
And then there's a famous photo of Daniel Jones' face in his hands, raining, just pouring on him. And it was the worst moment I had ever seen in my entire life.
That was one of the funniest moments.
That was one of the worst days I've ever witnessed in my entire life.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, so there's that. Caleb?
What's up?
What's your painful memory?
I already told it. You were on the phone.
Okay, you got it. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your support. Make sure, like Caleb already told you. Caleb, would you tell them where else they can find you?
You can find me at NFL Game 22 on Instagram and Twitter /X, and you can find me on this channel on Wednesdays, 8 o'clock, doing Bet the NFL. All we do is try to make you guys money. And the most latest episode is up right now, so you can go watch that and get your bets in if you like making money.
Yep. All right. My name is Fares Muthana. You can find me at Fares Muthana on Twitter. You can find me here every Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific, and then you can find me on our entertainment channel Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Wednesdays, 5 o'clock Pacific. Thursdays and Fridays, 3 o'clock Pacific. We're doing the Rewatchers Councils, Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then Buffy and Angel on Thursday and Friday. But without further ado, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful time, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.